The raid at Dieppe, France in 1942 holds a significant place in World War II history. During the early years of the war, commando-style raids were popular tactics, well suited to the European theater. England's proximity to occupied European coasts allowed for short naval journeys to strategic locations. These operations had both tactical and strategic importance. They achieved specific objectives like capturing radar technology and destroying key installations. Additionally, they served as propaganda, keeping the United Kingdom engaged in the war. Operation Jubilee, launched on August 19, 1942, marked a departure from previous raids, as it involved American ground combat troops for the first time. Pressure from the Soviet Union's Joseph Stalin for a Western front, the American desire for a foothold on the continent, and the need to demonstrate continued British engagement in the war led to the expansion of Operation Jubilee. It involved over 5,000 British, Canadian, and American ground troops. The Canadian contingent was particularly large and made up the majority of the infantry. The information on numerical strength varies depending on the source. But combined, the Navy, Air Force, and Army, the Allies sent about 10,000 men in total. Opposite them were only about 1,500 German soldiers on the coast, and a few warships and a few squadrons of the German Luftwaffe. The German defenders on land were part of the 302nd Infantry Division, and had previously only been set up as an occupation force. At least they had extensive combat experience and were extremely well equipped. With this clear superiority, the results of the attack should actually have been different. However, Dieppe's geography posed challenges. The town was surrounded by steep, chalk cliffs, making it difficult for troops to disembark directly onto land. The stony beach was unsuitable for landing heavy equipment. The Germans had fortified the area with artillery batteries, bunkers, machine gun positions, and anti-tank guns. Initially, Operation Jubilee combined paratroopers and amphibious assault to attack Dieppe's flanks before advancing into the town. Yet plans changed. The landings were planned on 6 beaches, each with specific objectives and code names: yellow, blue, red, white, green, and orange. Canadian and British forces were tasked with capturing key targets, including coastal batteries and radar stations. The red and white beaches, situated at the heart of the operation, were guarded by the main forces of the German Defensor. Troops from the Royal Hamilton Light Infantry and the Essex Scottish Regiment, supported by engineers and armored units, came ashore under a withering hail of enemy fire. The formidable Churchill tanks, specially designed for beach landings, encountered their first setbacks on the shingle beach, becoming immobilized and leaving the infantry vulnerable to German fire. On Blue Beach, assigned to the Royal Regiment of Canada, they were confronted with similar difficulties. The German defenders had established well-fortified positions, complete with machine gun nests and artillery emplacements. Tanks struggled to traverse the challenging pebbled shoreline terrain, exposing infantry to enemy fire. Blue Beach became a slaughterhouse for the Canadian soldiers as they landed and were immediately fired upon by German machine gun positions. 3rd Commando's mission was to neutralize the coastal battery Goebbels, located near Berneval. While they ultimately succeeded in destroying the battery, the assault came at a high cost, with the commandos sustaining heavy losses of often young men. Troops from the South Saskatchewan Regiment and the Queen's Own Cameron Highlanders of Canada landed on the Green Beach with the task of capturing the town of Pais and its surrounding strongpoints. They too encountered fierce German opposition, making progress difficult and taking many losses. While 4th Commando's objective was to eliminate the coastal battery Hesse at Blancmesnil-Sainte-Marguerite, near Varengeville. Despite initial success, they were eventually forced to withdraw under heavy fire. Despite meticulous efforts to maintain secrecy, the Germans were alerted to the Allied presence by their coastal defenses and radar stations. This nullified the element of surprise, a crucial component of any successful amphibious assault. The Churchill tanks, vital for breaching German defenses, faced significant difficulties navigating the rocky beach terrain. Consequently, they arrived late, by which time many infantry units had already suffered devastating losses. The Dieppe Raid resulted in a devastating loss for the Allies. Of the approximately 6,000 troops that landed, over 3,600 became casualties. This included nearly 1,000 killed in action, and more than 2,000 taken as prisoners of war. The catastrophic outcome of the operation deeply affected the Canadian forces involved, as they bore the brunt of the losses.